Alright, this training video is going to be about creating and managing your parent-child companies. So for today's video, I have a bunch of different Harris Teeter locations, but I have not set them up as a parent-child company. I do have them in a group, and if you don't know how to put customers in a group, you want to go ahead and search the help video called Creating Customer Groups. But in this case, in my Harris Teeter group, I only have Harris Teeters. I don't have any other customers. And currently I have 13 Harris Teeter locations. And so the first thing I'm going to have to do is create a parent customer. So this would be Harris Teeter corporate office, or Harris Teeter headquarters, or Harris Teeter parent company, whatever you want to name it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And since I want this parent to be in the group, I will go ahead and click yes to this. Alright, now while creating this parent company, one of the most important things is to remember to flag this as a parent company, which I did not do. So I'll edit the customer and add it as a parent company. Now when I hit OK, now that my parent company is flagged as a parent company, one way that I can link the children up under the parent is to choose one of the children and edit the customer, and down here choose bill at parent level, and then choose Harris Teeter parent company from the list. And now if I hit OK, it's going to be linked up as the child. Now, if you have a large number of customers, you don't want to do this one by one. What you can do is go to Utilities and choose Manage Parent Child. This opens another tool, and if we look down here, we've got the Harris Teeter parent company, and I have that first child that I've linked up underneath it, but I want to link up all the other ones. So on this side, I have all the customers in my database that are not already linked up as parents or children. So what I'm going to do is type Harris in here and hit apply. Okay, and here are all my Harris Teeter stores, and I'm going to click this button that says send to parent, and I'm going to choose the parent. Okay, at this point, I can scroll back down, and here are all my Harris Teeter stores. So if some of your children are named a little bit different, you can do it step by step, and you can get them all under there. And once you have them, you'll hit Save Changes. And now when we go back out, all right, now any one of my children under the Harris Teeter group should all be showing this Harris Teeter parent company in the parent drop-down box right here. Okay, another thing that's helpful, if you are on the parent company, you have this extra little tab over here called Children. You can click on that, and it brings up each of your locations that are attached to this parent with a grid of a lot of the data that has to do with that customer. You notice in my case it's mostly empty because this is just a test database. Okay, one of the reasons that we like to put them in their own group is because you can manage the pricing for the entire group for the whole chain of stores or the whole parent company if all the pricing is the same. So in that case, what you would do is come up to price schedules, and you would go through each of the products that you're going to sell to this store and find the correct price schedule. So in this case, we'll say 10-pound bagged ice, and we're going to add a price schedule for Harris Teeter, and I'm going to say $1.23, and it applies to the group, and I'm going to choose Harris Teeter. Okay. Okay, so now all of my Harris Teeter stores for the 10-pound ice are going to be charged $1.23. But I can, instead of doing separate pricing groups, I can link multiple items for that same parent group. So let's do 20-pound bagged ice, also for Harris Teeter, and let's say it's $1.89. And I'm going to do the group, and I can point to that same group for this price schedule. And so that way I can manage all of my pricing for the parent company. Another reason for putting them all in a group is in case you want to do EDIs. EDIs are an electronic way of sending invoices in an automated way, automatically to a parent company. And if you have that, you're going to have an export button right in here if you're a system admin under the file menu. I don't have one on my test database. While you're setting up parent companies, it's often very helpful to use the bulk customer edit tool. Doing this, you can load the group and then manage all of the group at one time, making sweeping changes depending on what you need to do. So for example, we could change all the payment terms to be billed because it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to have them different payment terms. So I can highlight them all, bulk customer update, and say payment method is going to be bill, and submit, and they're all changed. I can go through and I could say I want all of these customers to use route mail for routeman or route mail for route mobile, or I want them all to come out of a particular warehouse. I can make all kinds of changes to the whole group at one time and then submit customer changes, and I'll be able to manage the whole company in one shot. All right, once you have your customers set up as parent and children, one of the biggest payoffs is being able to view the invoices and payments in a combined or separate way. So currently these customers are brand new. I don't have any invoices. So I'm going to take a moment and create some so you can see how this works. Alright, so I've created several different single invoices at some of the children. Now, if I want to view them under the parent company, I would come to the parent company and I would check this box right here, include children in totals. Right now, it's showing empty of invoices because I've never delivered to the corporate headquarters of the parent company. But if I check that box, suddenly routeman will display all the different invoices that the children have received. They are still under the children's accounts and separate, but I can view them all at one time under the parent. If your parent is a location that also receives deliveries, by unchecking the include children in totals, you would only see the invoices that were delivered to that location. One of the biggest benefits to doing this is being able to manage your statements and your payments through the parent company. So right now I can see the total that's owed by the parent company, and let's go ahead and enter a payment. For the payment, in almost all situations you will be receiving one payment from the parent company that's going to be covering possibly several different invoices from the different children. So what we're going to do here, we're going to say, okay, we received a check for $975, and we would enter our check number, okay. And then now we're going to allocate the payments, and it allows me to go ahead and select all the different invoices from the different children. And when I hit OK, now my payment is used up, and if I come back to the invoices, they are completed. Now if I go to one of the children that had an invoice, its invoice is also showing completed. And then an extra cool thing is that if I click over to the payments tab, it displays the payment that covers that invoice, and you can see that bright blue color designates that it was a parent-child payment. And so if I need to go see the payment information for that, I would know to go to the parent and look it up. But I can also right-click on that payment in any of these and see the different invoices that it's covering, and can research, what's going on with that parent-child payment. If you have any other questions about parent-child companies, give the KCS office a call and we'll be happy to help you set up your parent companies in routeman in a way that works best for you.